SOP. Mariah don't even know. I mean, it bitch still fucking. Goddamn CO give it a box quicker than the FedEx work. They don't be telling my business, man.
This whole Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist mess just got way crazier. Everyone already knows Mariah walked away from Thug after those jail calls leaked, especially that wild one where he was flexing about hooking up with a corrections officer. But here's the twist. Mariah actually knew those recordings were floating around for almost a whole year, and she was fighting behind the scenes to keep them buried.
The most disappointing thing of this whole, thing with Young Thug is he didn't give a fuck about that girl at all. He got Mariah like all fucked up in the head at her shows and shit. That's her money, man. And then on top of that, he got caught saying, "I'm still in here fucking." Mariah doesn't even know. And it did that stupid ass laugh at the end of the phone call. Boy, that's some trifling shit. And before motherfuckers get in my comments, especially dudes, they gonna get in my comments saying simp, whatever the fuck. You can say a lot of things, but I'm not fucking trifling. Yeah, I'm not fucking trifling.
Some leaked text messages between Mariah and a blogger are making waves online right now, and the receipts are messy. Back in October 2024, Mariah was literally begging this blogger not to release the jail call audio they had of Young Thug. She poured her heart out in those texts, telling the blogger, "I would have been willing to find a creative way to support you. This is seriously hurting me. My relationship has been destroyed in so many ways. You have no idea. I've already been embarrassed, and I truly wish this wasn't happening to me. Can you please delete the post? I'm begging you just to work with me as a person, as a woman. This has truly affected me and has taken away my desire to live life to the fullest. If you can let me know what you spent investing in those videos, I will reimburse you. Please talk to me." The blogger didn't just brush her off either. They hit back with, "Can you call me real quick? It's too much to type." That alone shows how serious and messy these convos were. And it didn't stop there. On Sunday, October 20th, 2024, Mariah was still trying to keep the door open, texting, "Good morning, was wondering if you could email me some of the stuff. I've had some time to calm down." Then right after, she followed up again with, "Well, good morning, where are you at?" So the back and forth between Mariah and this blogger kept rolling, and it honestly feels like a whole soap opera. The blogger hit her up like, "Hey, at IV therapy, I'll hit you when I'm back home." Mariah, clearly clinging to hope, replied, "Okay, thank you." Later that same day, the blogger followed up with,
And another thing, you see how he sat down and he talked about gunna this, gunna that, or whatever. But if Mariah was to go pop out with that motherfucker today, if Mariah was to pop out with Gunna today, like they a couple, or they talking, or they going on dates, or whatever their deal is, they would be the same dudes that would say she's doing him wrong. And that's the fucking funny part of it. If she was to do that, and I know you don't supposed to love nobody out of spite. You don't supposed to give your body to nobody out of spite. You're not supposed to be giving up your body to somebody you're not married to. Of course not. But if she went and did that shit, it's just like I just want to play. I forgot what his name was on the Best Man. You don't think she well in her rights to go get her swerve on for all the shit that you did? You don't think that she has? You don't think she's going to?
"Almost home. I'll send it." A few minutes later, they confirmed, "Just sent you a large email file of text messages. Did you get the email?" That's when Mariah showed how deep this was hitting her soul. She texted, "Your answer won't change our agreement, but rather will have an effect on how I feel. Are you agreeing to this because you really understand, or is it about the money? I just want to know that someone understands me. And my next question is, would you ever help me look into FOIA process? I'll talk about that later if I decide I wanted that help." The blogger's response? Surprisingly heartfelt. They said, "Honestly, Mariah, it's both. From a woman's perspective, I feel you. I can understand why you wouldn't want it out. From a business perspective, I'm actually taking a loss financially. But because you absolutely have pulled in my heartstrings, I will make the sacrifice and just rely on the universe to bless me. Yes, I help only if you're strong enough to handle it." Mariah came back with, "I appreciate you, honestly." And the blogger wrapped it with, "Thank you." At least in that moment, it really did look like they had empathy for her pain. And to be fair, the blogger actually stood on business and didn't release those recordings. But here's where things get shady. Even though the blogger kept their word about not dropping the recordings, they still did Mariah dirty. They eventually leaked those private text messages between them to the whole world, even after Mariah allegedly paid them off to stay quiet.
All right.
The problem with the way that Young Thug did Mariah is that that girl was really writing for him. That's the problem. The problem was that Young Thug was incarcerated for almost 3 years, and that girl was with him screaming, "Free Thug! Free Thug!" Okay? If she had a visitation with him, and it was the same day of one of her performances or her shows, guess what she chose? She chose Thug. She chose Thug over everything, right? And the whole time he was in jail cheating on her. I don't think people understand that, how detrimental that can be to a woman. So you're telling me the whole time I'm envisioning us getting out of jail, I'm praying for you.
That betrayal cuts deep, and it makes sense why she's been looking so broken lately. Remember when she hit that stage to perform Is It a Crime the other night? Fans thought she looked heartbroken because she had just found out about Thug's cheating. But the truth is even darker. Mariah had already been living with this pain for nearly a year, trying to shield both of them from public humiliation. Every show, every appearance, she was carrying that weight on her back, knowing the truth could explode at any moment. But the sad part, she was fighting a battle she was never going to win. Somewhere inside, she probably knew the leaks were inevitable, no matter how much she begged or paid. That's why those texts about looking into the FOIA process hit so different now. And for those who don't know, FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, is basically a law that lets regular citizens request government records. When Mariah started asking about the FOIA process, she was basically scrambling for any legal loophole to block those jail calls from hitting the public. Since they went down inside a government facility, they're technically government records. But here's the cold truth. Jail calls are almost always considered public record, which means no matter how badly she tried to twist FOIA in her favor, it was never really gonna save her. Anyone could request those calls, and that's exactly how Whack 100 and others got their hands on them before blasting them online. You can only imagine the stress Mariah was under trying to keep all of this locked away in silence, while deep down knowing those records could explode any second. When that first recording dropped on the blogs, you already know her heart must have sunk straight into her stomach. And the worst part, she knew that was just the beginning. Every new day brought more leaks, more calls, more humiliation. And let's be real, there are probably even more recordings floating around that we haven't even heard yet. Mariah most likely knows exactly what else is out there, praying it doesn't surface. But truth has a way of clawing its way out no matter how hard you try to bury it. By the time the calls finally poured out through other sources, that was the breaking point. After carrying months of secret pain, suddenly the entire world had a front row seat to her private nightmare. The one thing she fought to keep hidden was now viral gossip, and there was no turning back. Now here's where things get even messier. Not everybody's buying the breakup story. Some people online swear Mariah isn't really going anywhere. They think she's still locked in with Young Thug no matter what the headlines say. According to these rumors, all this heartbreak, all these text leaks might just be a cover-up.
I'm going through all of that, and I say us getting out of jail because if you're dealing with a man in jail, you're doing it with him, right? And the whole time he's in there on the phone with another woman talking about, "You're gonna have my baby." Excuse me? So I'm the dummy here doing everything for you, and at the end of the day, she has your baby? That's the problem. I don't think people understand how Thug really did Mariah. And we all know that she's gonna get back, but it's the hurtful shit. And again, we should be talking about her album in case instead we're talking about how her man was gonna have a whole baby without her behind her back, and how he cheated on her the day right before he went to jail. I don't think y'all understand. If I'm Mariah, yeah.
A carefully staged facade to protect her image while she rides this out with him in private. Fans are whispering that she could still be standing by his side, quietly holding it down behind the scenes, even while pretending to be done with him in public. Others think the whole situation is being spun just to save face, to make Mariah look like the victim, not the partner of a man drowning in scandals. And the rumors don't stop there, so fans have been digging deeper, and some of the theories floating around are straight up wild. A lot of people are convinced Mariah is moving like someone who's still emotionally tied to Thug, no matter how much damage he's caused. They point to her music, the way she performs those heartbreak tracks, and even her body language on stage. To them, it looks less like a woman who cut ties and more like someone singing through the pain of still being connected. Others swear she's playing the long game, sticking around quietly because she knows Thug still holds major influence in the industry, and walking away completely could backfire on her career. In that sense, some think the breakup narrative is less about love and more about strategy. But the darker side of fan chatter? Some people believe Mariah's team is intentionally leaking certain things to protect her, spinning her as the victim so she can rebuild her image while Thug takes all the blame. One person even commented, "This all feels staged, like they trying to keep her clean while letting him drown." Now here's where things start sounding like a straight-up industry cover-up. Some fans believe there's way more at play than just heartbreak and cheating. They claim Mariah's whole situation with Thug is being managed by people way above her, label execs, PR handlers, and even insiders tied to his case. The idea is simple: protect Mariah at all costs because her career is still marketable, while letting Thug take the full fall. There's even talk that certain leaks, the texts, the staged photos, even the timing of her sad performances are being carefully dropped to keep the public on her side. It's like the industry is building a shield around her, painting her as the heartbroken girlfriend who tried everything, while Thug gets branded the reckless villain who couldn't stay loyal. And the craziest part? Some fans swear this could be a strategy to keep Mariah relevant while Thug is locked down. One viral comment said, "Don't be fooled. This is PR 101. Make her the victim, keep her in the headlines, then boom, album rollout." At the end of the day, no matter how much Mariah tries to protect herself, the spotlight always circles back to young Thug. And the picture isn't pretty. These jail calls didn't just expose cheating, they showed a man moving reckless even while locked up, bragging about hooking up with a corrections officer. That's not just messy, that's dangerous. And it gave the world a front row seat to how little fear Thug has of consequences. And now people are starting to ask the hard questions. If this is how bold he is on recorded calls, what's happening that we haven't heard yet? Fans and critics alike are wondering if the cheating and the drama are just the surface, while something way darker is still being kept quiet. One person online even said, "If he's this careless on the phone, imagine what's really going on behind the walls." The sad part is, Thug's behavior doesn't just wreck his own image, it drags Mariah down with him. Every time another call leaks, her name trends alongside his, even when she's clearly the one getting hurt the most. And that's the irony. The more Thug tries to flex, the more he's exposing the cracks in everything he built, both personally and professionally. The craziest part of all this is how Thug's reckless choices and Mariah's desperate attempts to hide them have now collided into one big scandal neither of them can escape. On one side, you've got Thug, bold, careless, and acting like the rules don't apply to him, even when every word is being recorded. On the other, you've got Mariah, the loyal partner turned damage control manager, scrambling for nearly a year to cover his tracks, only to watch the whole thing unravel anyway. And now, the world sees them both differently. Thug looks like the chaotic villain who sabotaged himself, while Mariah looks like the broken woman caught in the crossfire of love and betrayal. But the deeper you look, the blurrier the lines get. Was she truly just a victim, or did she willingly play along, hoping to protect her brand while knowing the truth would eventually explode? Fans are split. Some say she deserves sympathy for what she endured. Others say she enabled it by staying quiet so long. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. They both played the game, and they both lost. Now the receipts are public, and there's no hiding. At this point, the Mariah and Young Thug saga feels less like a love story and more like a cautionary tale the whole industry is watching unfold in real time. What started as private pain turned into leaked calls, exposed text messages, and now a public scandal that neither of them can outrun. Mariah tried to fight the tide, begging bloggers, considering legal moves, and even paying off people just to keep her dignity intact. But no matter how hard she fought, the truth found its way out, and the world is now dissecting every detail. Meanwhile, Thug's own downfall has only magnified the drama. His careless words and reckless behavior didn't just stain his own name, they dragged Mariah into a storm she never stood a chance of escaping. The irony is brutal. While she was trying to protect him, he was digging the hole deeper with every call, every brag, every mistake. Now fans are divided. Some see Mariah as the tragic figure who loved the wrong man, while others think she was complicit, protecting her image until she couldn't anymore. And Thug? He's becoming a case study in self-destruction, with his empire crumbling from inside those prison walls. So now I want to hear from you. Is Mariah the victim of Thug's chaos? Or was she part of the cover-up until it finally blew up? And more importantly, can either of them bounce back from a scandal this messy, or is this truly the end of the road? Sound off in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you want more deep dives like this.